Good afternoon. My name is Karabo Rafube. Karabo means answer. With Africans, it means antwoord. I was born and bred in Soweto, Southern Western Township, not far from the late Rolihlahla Mandela's house. I know you all know him. Last week it was his birthday on the 18th of July, of which it was celebrated by the whole world. And one day when you visit, you must give me a call. I'll take you for a ride there. I'm very honored and privileged to be here. And I recognize you, sir, on my far left. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here, and okay. I'm very cautious of time because I wanna be invited again. So, yeah, they said to me, punctuality is a strength of character. So, to the organizers, yeah. Karabo Rafube is a TB activist advocating for health and standards and human rights of inmates in all correctional centers. He's an ex-inmate who contracted TB while in South African prison. This is a little biography about me, but I prepared something different just to have direction in what I'm gonna present. I'm going to categorize my story, which I call my testimony, in three parts. Life before prison, and I see when I talk about life before prison or mention prison, some of you are hiding your cell phones. It's okay. They won't vanish. Life before prison, I was actually dumped by my mother when I was only 3 months old because my dad ran away from his responsibility. Mainly, he was married with his family with 14 children in a 4-room house. So my mom decided to dump me a couple of meters away from my father's house. In those days, there were no cell phones. She left a note saying, because you don't want to answer me, here is your answer. That is why I'm called Answer. I think it was meant to be a curse, but it's a blessing because today I'm an answer. So I love my name. And I grew up in that setup, and it was dysfunctional and a poor background. And as you can know, that an empty stomach cannot concentrate at school. I was sleeping at night. I was sleeping at 1 a.m., had to practice ceremonials of our church, and going to school in the morning, couldn't concentrate. I became a laughing stock. I usually say if I had to talk about rejection, my life was like, I can even tell the color of rejection, the way I was so rejected. I experienced rejection in a way that even when people showed me love, I wouldn't tell whether they love me or what, because my life is about rejection. I'm talking about at school, sitting alone without lunch, and being ridiculed by other kids, wearing one t-shirt the whole week, And just to cut the long story short, there was a multi-millionaire woman by the name of Mrs. Musa Moloi. She adopted me, and I went to stay with her. Of course, we had to go through the route of social workers, and the route of law. And at the end, I stayed with her in a big house. I had my own room, and everything was just like a walk in a park. And they began to call me from Karabo to Cheese Boy. So don't call me Cheese Boy. And even at school, I started to to concentrate, and because I had to eat food with nutrition and healthy food, and I didn't know that she actually wanted me to pay her sexually for all the things she was doing for me. And one day, under the influence of alcohol, because she was a businesswoman, she was owning a shop, bottle store, and butchery. On weekends, under the influence of alcohol, she will knock at my door asking me to pay her, because she said, I can't do this for you for free. And I refused, because I took her as my mom. And things started to change in the house. There was tension between us, and now I must work for everything that I receive. I didn't mind that until two guys went to her house. I was in Pretoria by then to play soccer. I used to be a good soccer player. I think I used to play better than Messi. You know? Yeah, it's just that I took another route now. So when I came back from Pretoria, I was arrested for housebreaking and theft that I didn't commit, that I didn't know anything about. And they said, whatever you say will be used against you. You have a right to remain silent. And we went to the police station. They took my fingerprint. It was on 13th of July, 2001. On Monday, I went to court. They transferred me to, we call it Sun City, Johannesburg prison. It's one of the big prisons in South Africa. When I reached Sun City, you know, that's when trouble started. I call it like it was hell on earth, you know, because when you enter the reception, you can just feel that this is a bad place. I'm talking about you have lice, you have insect biting you all over your body, and there was no screening, you know, and we were many of us. It was just it was overcrowded, you know, and from the reception we went to our cells, and we were about 130 prisoners in a small space of a cell, and we're using one shower, one toilet, and it was just a nightmare. And in a process of time, I had TB. I thought TB can only affect you if you smoke, but I was not a smoker. I used to sleep. It was two beds on top next to a window that was broken, and we used to throw food, rotten food were there. Please help me with English. When you do like this, you exhale, right? Inhale, thank you. We used to inhale all those things, and sleeping with a blanket full of lies, you know. And later on, I lost weight terribly, and I used to go to the clinic. There was a clinic, and when I go there, the lady who was in charge, she used to send me back saying, I'm pretending, I'm wasting time, we committed crime outside, so I must not play games because I want parole favors. I kept on going, same story, until she went home because she was pregnant. So it was kind of maternity leave. I call it a blessing in disguise. And the other lady who came, she was more like a good Samaritan. She gave me her full attention. She asked for my name, and she was just committed, and she helped me. She gave me those little bottles to give my saliva and all that, you know, to get tested. And the result came back that I have TB. Then I went through the treatment. And she used to make sure that we take our treatment, but it was not only me. We were about 10 or 11 prisoners going through the treatment, and some of them, they used to crush those medication, those pills, to smoke them. Some of them, they used to sell them. But the way she was so loving, I thought to myself, I'm not gonna disappoint her. I'm gonna take this treatment for full 6 months. And with special diet, we used to get special food you only receive those food when you go through TB treatment. But before, we were eating terrible food. And then I started to gain weight from vitamins and medication and special diet. I started to gain weight. Little did I know that it's trouble, because we use one shower. When you have a big body and you are in the shower with other gangsterism and reaching that head of the shower, you hear some stuff behind you, you wonder what's going on, and when you check, you'll understand that later, 12 o'clock at night, what I mean. And then it was very terrible, and to the point that couple of days after, there was a dangerous gangster guy who wanted to rape me. I screamed, and the prison was opened. Then I opened the case. I don't know what happened with the case. Then later I was told that the guy had he was HIV positive, and it doesn't matter how many times I share this story. Whenever I share this story, I become kind of emotional, but not bitter. I'm thinking that I'm really a miracle, and I wouldn't want to see other prisoners going through the same route that I had to go through. And to cut the long story short, because I want to be invited again, I was transferred to Pretoria, but by then I was restored, and I thought I won't keep quiet, I won't be silent. Then I started to go through TB teachings. There was this company, the name of Kulisa. They taught us what is TB, and I took that opportunity to teach other prisoners and to encourage them that don't sell your pills, be faithful, you don't help the government, you help yourself, and TB is curable. I had to read about Archbishop Tutu, Desmond Tutu. I had to read about Mr. Mandela, that they once had TB and they are now cured. And life after prison, I'm actually a businessman, and I'm married to a beautiful wife. I don't know where to press to show the other picture. Yeah, this is my beautiful wife and my son. His name is Junior. And I refuse for Junior to go through what I had to go through. Prevention is better than cure. And this is my little beautiful daughter. She's 1 year, 8 months. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm a speaker on radio. I'm a motivational speaker. And my voice is my invoice. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.